like the camera angles and stuff, but my cameras are so bad.
It
It's
is
hard to
it is a
And
game
then-
changer with the production quality
Yeah.
because I think we kind of had the same vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me. Cool. So on today's episode of the Austin Business Connection, I'm here with my co-hosts
Robert.
and
Brian Lopez.
cool. And I'm super excited to have as a guest one of my good buddies and someone who's had a big impact on my business journey, Hilton Kill.
Let's go.
He is the owner of Ballerini Floors. His story kind of starts a long time ago before that. Grew up in Brazil working with a family-owned Brazilian wood manufacturing company. Also even operated an ostrich farm at one point. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Excited to get in there. Moved to the United States to help with the family business. I think he ended up kind of taking over much sooner than expected. He's also the creator of Puff Drink Talk podcast and networking group. It is the most unique networking community I've been a part of. Y'all, I think I
Oh,
invited y'all guys there. It's freaking
yeah,
awesome.
Pretty
awesome.
nice.
Excited to jump into that. So today we're
Some
just going.
Brazilian.
Yeah, I love it. We're going to dive into a little bit of your upbringing, background, entrepreneurial journey. Still haven't heard about the ostrich farm, so I'm going to ask questions on that. But
Okay.
for starters, for those who don't know you, let us know a little bit about Hilton Kill. Wait, how was your upbringing and kind of how'd you get started in Brazil?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate, and it's an honor to be here. To be honest, I mean, I value you a lot. The first time I met you, I was like, I want to be close to this guy because he is legit. So I really appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Um,
You're our first guest. You were
Yep.
you held the
thank you.
spot.
Thank
yeah,
you.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I
Hilton's
appreciate it.
going to be our first.
Yeah,
I
he did
appreciate
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
My story is not it's not that very interesting, man. I mean, of course I was born. My dad actually, when my mom got pregnant of me, my dad was working for my uncle's factory at the time, and then instead of staying, and then he flew back because he had like passed on a like on a test, like an interview kind of thing. But he also had to do a test to be able to join because of like a public company. And then so he wanted to work for that company, and then left the wood business. And then I was born in the state where all my family is from. And then only 10 years later that he went back to work with the mill, with all of the wood industry that we have in Brazil. At a certain point, we were the biggest before the 2008, like as a conglomerate, like as a group, like as a family group, right? So, but then all of the subprime or credit crunch, whatever it was called in here, we kind of lost. We had 14 factories and stuff.
Oh
so.
wow.
So we had the biggest plywood manufacturer of the Americas at the time. I remember that the office, the ceiling of the building was a fish tank. So people would come to see the fish in the fish tank. Yeah, the
Oh,
ceiling.
wow.
Y'all had too much money.
I mean,
Yeah.
not
You had
the
too much
ceiling.
money.
Yeah, not the ceiling, the roof.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. I mean, I remember like riding bikes on dunes of wood chips and dust kind of stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then with the sun, because it's hot. I mean, it's the north of Brazil is as hot as Texas, right? And then it's not as cold when it gets cold in here. It's only as hot as these, but then it keeps on hot
Yeah.
the whole year because it's the equatorial line. So it's really really hot. So you would burst into flames because you do that back in the day when there was no like regulations or anything. So like they would want it to catch fire so that you would dissipate, right?
Ah.
So because it's waste,
Yeah,
right? You don't have
right.
It's
anything
like a
to do.
magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cheapest way to
exactly.
get
Whatever
rid of
happens,
trash.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happens, happens. So, but I remember riding bikes, and we would make like tracks and stuff on. And it's not in this is not in my family's wasteland. It was just like in the neighborhood because we lived about 70 miles away from the mill, in a
That's
bigger
far.
city. Yeah, just because. So my dad, we had like the house for. Uh, so my dad would work the whole week on just it was a village
Yeah.
that we built, for the employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy story and it's too long to talk. But yeah, if you want to know about the
We got
ostrich,
time.
and
It's,
then
it's like the Tesla of Brazil, where Elon comes in and builds a whole.
it
city
was
for
like
them.
it was like that. Yeah, back in the 80s. And then, but yeah, there was like, and I remember one day, man, so many years ago, we were just like on a pizza place, like having a dinner, and then there was a couple complaining about the smoke because, and then there was like in the 80s, it started some regulations and stuff, so you would have to have like a way, a place to burn the all the dust and stuff, from the mill, so that wouldn't accumulate, in the world, right? And then there was this lady that she was complaining, saying that there's too much smoke in the air, and then making the town like all smoky and whatnot. But that was the best that could be done. There was nothing else, right?
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And then my dad turned over and said, like, where does your husband work? Oh, he works on such and such. And then he was my dad's best friend, Mill. We're not competitors. It was all friends, right? And then he was like, well, if they close the mill, where is it that your husband's gonna work? Because there's only like 4 mills, and we are the biggest one. But there was only 4 mills in the town.
Was that where almost everyone in the town worked?
Yes.
Like
For all-
80%
yeah.
of the population of that town probably worked there.
Yeah, and then the rest would work in the restaurants because there's people living in the town, and then they go to restaurants.
Same
or bar,
ecosystem. I mean,
or bar, snooker bar or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that.
I'm trying to picture, like, I guess the places I'm not sure if you're familiar, but like the oil towns in West Texas.
Probably very similar, like a thousand people living in.
Only
yeah,
the
yeah.
workers,
Yeah.
and then people to feed and give beer to the workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
But is it like in the
everything was-
rainforest
Yeah, well,
of Brazil?
kind of what we call it, the portal of the rainforest. So it's the very beginning of a very, very long stretch of road that goes into the Amazon forest, right?
Interesting.
And then that's where the city was, and then it's actually on the borderline of 2 states in Brazil.
I could be wrong on this fact. Please correct me or look it up. But I am absolutely blown away that I think the Amazon rainforest is bigger than the United States of America.
Let me look it
I'm
up.
not sure because it has a lot in Brazil and then all of the other countries around.
When I heard that fact, I was just blown. I think I looked it up immediately. I want to say Texas, but I feel like the Amazon rainforest is bigger than the United States of America.
I
in
don't think
square
so.
miles.
I don't think so.
we'll get Grok involved here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it covers 5.5 million square kilometers, whatever those are. 2.1 million miles. The United States covers 9.8. So it's like what,
A
fourth,
third.
thirdish, fourth,
Which is
fourth,
That's
insane.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Still
Texas
ginormous.
in
Yeah.
size.
Insane.
I can't even fathom it. Yeah.
Well, I saw like a map of like the rainforest overlaid on
Uh-huh.
United States of
It
America.
must have been. It's definitely bigger than Texas.
Texas, yeah.
And that's insane.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
It's just force.
And the days are probably long and hot there, huh? Because it's right by the.
Oh, it's
equator.
humid. It's very,
So hot.
very humid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in the jungle, and then one story that I normally tell people too, because it's kind of fascinating if you like science, right, and nature. So, and one of the things gets into all the conflicts and problems that it's not really that interesting. But we were like because you do selective tree harvest, right? So you only chop down the trees that will have lumber, right? Because you're producing lumber, right? So you don't harvest like the smaller trees. You want them to grow. Of course, when one tree comes down, it will kind of knock down all the trees.
Mm.
So there was this guy, and then the guy that runs the what is the name of the thing that cuts the
Chainsaw?
tree? Chainsaw, yeah. So in Portuguese is motosserra. So the name of the person cutting it, it's motoqueiro because it's motosserra. So it's the same name as a bike rider.
Okay.
Because also a bike in Brazil is moto,
Okay.
right? So and then so the motoqueiro guy, he told me like, hey, we're gonna chop down this tree, and then it was a big, girthy, tree. So he chops it down, and then you only have like that little.
Do they yell timber? Or is that just in TV shows?
They,
Is it like timber?
they
yell
do they say madeira
Okay.
because it's
Madeira.
coming down, yeah. So
Okay,
that
cool. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
move out of the way and be aware that
Falling.
it's falling.
And they're loud too.
A lot of people die though in
shit.
those because sometimes you want the tree to fall in one direction. It might divert a little bit. It depends on how you do it. It's very dangerous. It's a very, very dangerous profession, to be honest with you. But and then so there was just what's it called, this stump,
Stump. Yep.
Yep.
yeah, of the tree. So and then he said like, and I was like 11 years old, and then
Just dodging
11,
gigantic
12,
trees.
yeah. The age of my daughters, you know what I mean? It's like my daughter is 13.
And were you working at this time, or were you just like
No, I was just like going
hanging out.
and
Yeah.
getting to know the places and whatnot.
Okay.
That the family had business. So
So
and-
do they? I mean, I guess you can't own the rainforest. So do they have to
No,
pay
you-
the government like
No,
per
no.
tree?
no, the rainforest is owned by some people because you go and buy the land and the forest is in it.
Oh wow! So
You
it
you
is private
cannot
property.
yeah you cannot chop it down. You have to have like a approved
Permits.
permits and then to chop down certain trees, and that's how the harvest is done. So and then but so I go up this stud and then I look up and then it's a massive I can see the sky because it's dark.
Oh, I
Even
see.
during the day it's dark because the sun does not go through
Right.
the trees. And then so I
it's
look
always
up.
dark, right?
Yeah, it's always dark.
Because there's no sun.
Yeah. And then I go up on this thing and then and well, first when the tree goes down and then everything now it is light,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then you see a lot. And then so I go up and like go up on here and look up. So I step up and I look up and then I see the sky. And then it's a massive like what is it called?
Hole?
Like a hole, yeah.
Yeah, huge
And then-
hole in the canopy.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
canopies.
Yeah,
they
something
touch
like
each
that.
other, Yeah.
And then so he wrote my initials on the stump. So next day, literally next day, because the operation was going there, and then we are accumulating some wood very close by to where that tree was chopped. And then so next day I went back there again. Funny about you talking about coffee, before, because I remember vividly that day. It's like so drinking coffee, and then there was no sugar, and it's like my
You were
very
drinking
first
coffee?
time. Yeah, and
At 11?
11 years old, yeah.
Oh wow.
And then my daughters don't drink coffee,
Yeah.
and they go like, "Why do we not drink coffee?" Because mommy doesn't let us do it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come on! I was drinking coffee
Yeah.
when I was like
I'm
7,
fine, yeah.
5, or whatever.
I thought I was drinking coffee at an early age. My grandma just made hot chocolate, and I thought it was coffee. I thought I drank coffee since I was like 7 years old.
Unleaded.
Nope, it was hot
Not even,
chocolate.
just hot chocolate.
It's not bad though. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
I was like, I started drinking coffee at 5. My mom was like, it was hot chocolate. So.
Yeah. That's just crazy though that it's so like dense there that you cut one tree down is this huge like hole all of a sudden. Like I couldn't imagine. I mean, I guess I could, but,
But yeah, and I go up
That's
on
so
that.
wild.
On
But the
that
next day he
on the
went.
next day,
Yeah.
I look
Oh,
up,
yeah.
no sun. It's dark.
It all the canopy
Oh,
It
closed.
takes
okay.
it takes like nothing.
do they
That's what I'm
communicate
saying.
with each other.
Yeah, it does
Seen
not.
Avatar?
It does not affect. You chopping
Yeah.
a tree down or
Uh,
10, 15. If you're chopping all of it,
Right,
and then
that's a
it
problem.
affects. But if
That's
you're
why you
taking over
select.
here, over there, no, the other trees will then now have space and have food that comes from the earth.
so they have
So,
more nutrients too.
yeah.
Okay.
Makes
gotcha.
sense.
Huh.
It's kind of like the elephants in Africa when they kill the biggest elephant just to let the smaller ones grow, because if not, the biggest one kills a lot of small
Oh.
elephants.
Takes
Ah.
too many
I didn't know that.
resources.
Yeah, because a lot of people actually like are against hunting elephants, and then they're like, oh no, but if you hunt that big elephant,
More.
you let the
Let's
smaller
not start doing that with people, man. I'll be.
I was
coming
just
up
thinking.
next.
I was
You
like,
over 6 foot? Come here.
let the smaller people.
you hungry ass.
Now we can all eat. He's gone.
That's funny.
That's a cool story though. That's neat. I've been in the rainforest, and it is
Really?
yeah. In
In
Costa
Brazil
Rica,
or Costa?
Costa Rica, yeah.
I've done Costa.
Lived there for a while.
That's what I was thinking about when he was, because I was going to say, you've been to Costa Rica, you see what these villages are like, and they're pretty crazy. And I just imagine just being a mill and a bunch of shacks and people working the mill and in the rainforest.
And it's so rustic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that's a good
It's
word
like
for it.
It's like
there's
third,
not a lot
I would
of
say third world.
technology. You know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, it's simple tools
Yeah.
Mhm.
all the time. I mean, some great machinery
Yeah.
Yeah.
is like they buy like expensive, like $500,000 tractors and stuff.
Yeah.
You find those,
That's true.
but when it gets like to produce the lumber,
It's like a
I
guy's
mean,
hands.
Simple.
it's simple tools.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, automatic and whatnot, but they're simple. They're not complex tools.
And did y'all ship that material to the U.S.?
Everywhere. I mean,
Or was it just in Brazil? Or were y'all like a
no, at the beginning,
world supply, a national supply?
no, at the beginning was it was in Brazil only, and then we started expanding, the market to other areas too. And so when we had the plywood manufacturing plant, it was huge, man. It was like I never seen such a big equipment, but it was in town. It wasn't like in a city, like not inside of the jungle. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because inside the jungle, you'd have less of the high precision cuts that needs to be done. I mean, a piece of flooring to get in your hand, it has been through at least 4,500 hands.
How much?
4,500 hands. For a piece of flooring to get in your hands, it has already been through a lot of people.
That's why Brazilian wood is so
Crazy.
expensive.
Yeah,
It's so good though.
All the production.
Wow.
it's like it's so
That's why
many
hardwood floors are
layers.
so
Yeah,
I remember my parents telling me they got this was 15 years ago, and they spent a crap ton of money for wood floors, which is crazy because they kind of scratch easy and get dented easy, and they're not that durable. and so for that expensive, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would never.
they are durable,
Yeah.
but they do take damage.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like, for example, I tell all my customers, like, if sorry about the restoration companies out there, right? So if you get water in your house and you have engineered wood floors, and it's a good quality, do not tear that floor out. Wait as much as you can, and dry it. Put the fans. Get the restoration companies to cut the walls, and those things are okay.
Not
The floors is expensive, right? So you can save it. If it's a good quality engineered wood floors, it will dry. You may need to replace a few planks only. So if anybody buying wood flooring, keep 2-3 boxes. If
Extra.
there is not enough left over, order more. Keep 2 or 3 boxes. 2 things: having spares, and the other thing is at least to have something to go off of when you're trying to match if that line has been discontinued or something like that. Get at least, I'd say, 2 boxes for every 1,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, a minimum, because and then you can replace a plank here, plank there. And if you have a water damage, it happened to a customer of mine. I told him, like, if any water damage happens, don't do it. And so he called me. He's like, hey, Hilton, my wife left the water running in the bathroom, and then it inundated the bedroom. And then I said, don't do anything. So I got there, I counted it, and he had like 30 planks that was really kind of looking bad. And then I said, like, 3 months, wait 3 months, pump the air conditioning, dry this thing. So 3 months later, I go back there, has 6 planks that actually needs to be
Nice.
replaced. And then he had a friend that was like a handyman that did the work for him. So, and then he had a box.
It's
Did he-
always
Did you tell him replace the wife but not the flooring?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, that's not a bad idea. So I'm gonna
not
include
the
that.
flooring though.
I'm gonna include that into my into my spiel when I explain things to customers.
It's
Yeah,
always
that's a good
funny
idea.
when you get experts, not funny, interesting, when you get experts in other trades, because I'm like, I would have never thought of that. You know, if I
Right.
had water damage, I'd be like, got to get whole new floors.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But
know
now
that.
it's just like, hey, just blast it with air for a couple months and probably save 9/10 of the cost.
Well, sometimes people go like, well, insurance is going to be paying, but you got to pay the deductible, right? But whatever, insurance is going to be paying. But you having to live in a house, like Texas is not, it's a non-matching state. So it doesn't matter. If you have a good insurance and that they feel like they will replace your whole floor, it's fine. If not, they're going to go like, I'm only replacing these
The
areas. here."
damaged area, I
Yeah.
see it all the time.
Yeah. And then you have to find a match. It never matches. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really hard to match.
Yeah.
I mean, I've found matches that are like 99% for customers. Andy John is the one that nobody would find, and it took me 15 seconds actually.
Yeah.
But I got lucky. You know, I had a sample in my showroom that looks exactly
Oh,
the same
wow.
her flooring, but it was a different brand.
Yeah.
And everybody actually has that same brand. The other flooring companies, they just didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm because it's normal. You'll never find a match.
Yeah.
And the customer is never going to be happy. I found it, and then she's happy. But, you know, I kind of got lucky.
Yeah.
And because it is like that. The percentage of matching is really low. And then you're going to end up like having 2 floors in your house. So if nobody rips anything out, the chances of you having extra, like spare planks, spare box, that you can replace just a few planks, now you still have the same floor that you had before, that you fell in love with when you bought it.
I think I had extra tile, extra floor, extra paint when I bought my house. I was like, why did this guy leave all this shit in my garage?
They're like, wait a minute.
I do it all.
No.
I was 25 when I bought.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, man, this guy left all his extra
Put
shit
everything in the
here.
attic, man. You know, it's not going to be in front
no
of you.
idea.
So, is there anything that irks you? Like for us, if there's 2 different types of lighting temperatures on a house or something, like 3,000 and 4,000, 3 and 5, we're like, ugh, but other people don't see it.
I was going to say,
Is
would I ever know?
Yeah, is there anything that, like, say you're walking around or you're in someone's house that's like, oh god, that gets to me if it's like 2 types of flooring or something that
Yeah.
doesn't match?
Like a little pet peeve kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind different types of flooring. What I mind is if you have like 2 wood look flooring
Like
against
grains or something.
against each other. Like let's say somebody puts a tile that looks like wood, and then they put wood floors, and trying to keep the same kind of color gradient and stuff, like, you know, to make like a design. It doesn't matter what we try to do; it's always going to look ugly. And in my eyes, it's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, no, if you want to have tile, do anything that looks like stone, because that's natural products, right? Stone and wood, right? And then you have the fake products, right? Which is porcelain,
Vinyl.
ceramic tiles, and the vinyl planks, the laminate floors, and whatnot. So,
Do they still do laminate floors anywhere?
oh yeah. The
Where?
laminate floor now is actually better than vinyl planks
In terms
Yeah.
of longevity or like.
in terms of everything.
What about the?
Yeah.
So vinyl plank, is that the exact same thing as LVP?
Yeah,
Luxury vinyl-
yeah. Luxury vinyl plank.
Shit,
Yeah.
that's what I got in my house.
No, but the thing is, go ahead.
So I have a question. So instead of getting, I've always thought like, I mean, I love wood flooring, but I was like, and I know it's going to last for a long time, but I thought if I can probably save a lot of money doing vinyl and then just replacing it every 5 years and then just kind of remodeling it, going with the new or modern look. What do you think there? Because I mean, cost. I know you see you.
No, that's a great question.
It is. I was like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
kind of smart. Because you get tired. You spend all that money. You might get tired of wood floor, and you're like, well, that was $30,000 that I guess
Yeah.
we'll just
with
redo.
it.
Yeah, let me tell you one thing. There is Mohawk, which is one of the biggest manufacturers in the world. Well, distributors and manufacturers, right? They did a research long time ago, and about anything wood floors, like how the display is going to sell more or less, if the planks are standing up or sideways, and also how a person is going to get kind of fed up with the floors, like I don't like it anymore. So wood floors, you never
Get tired of them.
get tired of them
I can see that.
because
I
it's
Yeah,
natural.
classy.
Yeah, it's like stone. It's
beautiful.
Every single plank is unique.
Yeah.
So your brain, as our eyes is it's scientific, right? So our eyes is the face of our brain. So it's everything that we see, it goes straight to our brain. So it's just like an extension of the brain. And when I look at a carpet like this, everything is the same.
Got it.
So I will get tired of it in about 4 years, right? Because every time that I'm in here, it doesn't matter where I look, it's all the same. So whatever direction that you're looking at, and our micro movements of the eyes is speaking different images and then collecting that image into our brain. Then all of that, it's coming in the same image because everything is the same, right? When wood floors, because they are unique, every single plank never repeats, ever. It's unique.
Interesting.
So you only see that one piece when you're looking exactly where you are, exactly. So if I'm looking at you, then my eye is picking up in here. But if I do this, my eye is already picking up at a slightly different angle.
So it's always
So
something
the
different.
repetition, it's almost zero. So and then you never get tired of it. It's
That makes
scientific.
sense.
Because
So-
he explained it so simply,
Yeah.
that means he's
Yeah.
an expert. That was great.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I want to
So
know.
you don't get
$50,000
tired
wood
of it.
floor sold.
You'll
That's
never get
how you
bored
do
of
it.
it.
But going back to answering your question is like
It's a good selling technique.
Yeah.
you think that you'll be saving money, and first of all, wood, you're never gonna get tired of it. Depend if you buy the right wood, and then you potentially can refinish and then maybe put a different stain. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But not only that, wood is a little bit more durable than any other thing that you can have as a flooring. It will scratch, yes, but it will still be there. It is scratched, but it's there.
So
Right.
would you say the human brain favors variety then when it comes
yes,
to
yes,
wood flooring, or does that extrapolate to other things?
everything. Yes, yeah,
We're going with different temperatures. now.
yeah.
So you don't get tired of it?
But when you install, removing costs money, and then you have to reprep because the new crew that's coming to install your floor, because you might not buy from the same company, because you might not remember who you bought that from, right? And then you're gonna go and buy, or you moved your address and then you having that as a rental, because that question is basically if you own a rental house, right? Because you change every
Yeah.
5 years.
So it is
Right.
my rental that I put the LVP,
Yeah.
and that was my same thought process, and it's why I put the LVP. I was like, it's cheaper,
To replace it.
and like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is why I did it.
It would have been, it would be cheaper long term if you go with a solid oak, 2 1/4 wide, which is old style kind of thing.
Sounds expensive.
No, because you can get solid cabin grade oak. It is expensive to do the finish on these, right? But you can get that for like $3, and then
Oh, that's almost
another
what I
three.
paid for LVP.
Yeah, another 3 to install, and then you
Yeah.
may only need to do a sand and finish job that is gonna cost you $5-6 if you go with a lower entry because it's a rental every 8 years.
Oh wow.
Or you can do a spot treatment kind of thing, right? Because it's solid wood, it's natural.
Right.
And then so that way, imagine if in 8 years' time you're only gonna spend, let's say $6 per square foot. If you're gonna remove, it's about $1.50, $2 to remove. Reprep and install, let's say another $3. Right, so you're already at $5.
Yeah.
Plus the material cost, prices normally go up. But let's say the price of today, like a good quality vinyl plank that is not expensive, not like the $8 ones, down the lower entry point is like $3, $2.99, $3, $3.49. $3.49 I would recommend a little bit better for that thing. And then you're already more expensive. So if you do that every 5 years,
Way more.
you way more money than every 8 years,
Yeah.
and with a solid wood floors.
Interesting.
And then you can do that for 8 years or 40 years. So
So
5
you've
times.
done this once or twice.
Yeah.
Sold.
Right, right.
Telling you, sold.
I know.
We got into some sort of kind of technical.
Yeah.
I find it interesting, but I don't know if you guys are gonna, if you like, but it's
Yeah, well, I like the. Do you get tired of wood floors? I love that because it's real easy to be like, no, you won't. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know, man. But breaking it down while your brain
The
says,
way,
you-
yeah, that was impressive.
yeah, it was good. Too bad glass always looks the same. I can never, I can never be like, you'll never get. It looks good.
Glass
do-
looks really good actually.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you because I've been dying to talk about this.
Ostrich.
Yes.
Okay.
Since I found out. Yes.
That's awesome. All right, let's hit it.
That's a funny thing. Can I brag about
Yeah.
myself a little bit
Yeah.
and my dad? Okay.
Oh, I'll do.
So the thing is, so when my dad was already out of the wood business, when I started my second year university, third year university, and then end of second year, my dad was like, "I'm gonna leave the wood business. I'm just gonna start a sofa like factory." And then it's like, why is that? Well, because I either do that or I move my mill more like closer to the jungle, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to, like, again 20 years later, go deep into the jungle again. Like I was deep into jungle here, but I was 20 years younger. And then it's like I understand you that. So and then he left the company. He turned his mill into like a sofa factory. And then after a little while, we bought a farm in the northeast of Brazil. That was actually really good for ostrich farming because of it was a little bit. It was a little drier, not as humid, so everything that the ostrich would kind of thrive. So, and then I looked for, and there was like a little, what does it say?
I
Like
have
a
so many questions.
there was a there was a moment in time that ostrich it became like a thing. Everybody talked about it, right? And then that was like 2004.
Ostrich boots.
Well, I wonder if it was like I think they thought ostrich meat was going to be a big thing, right?
Well, everything, yes.
Yeah, it was so ostrich eggs are profitable, ostrich meat is profitable, ostrich skin is profitable. So like it did become like
Not really.
Like,
well,
maybe a
it was
thing.
a big idea,
Idea, yeah.
but it never
Yeah.
happened. But like ostrich, I recall when this popped up when everyone thought like I'm going to have an ostrich farm. I was really young, but I remember.
And we had that, right?
we did it.
So and I had half a percentage, like 0.5% of ownership on the farm. My dad had 15%. My uncle was like 50. So the other 50 was, I had more than half. I had me and my sister. We had 5. No, I had 2.5.
And how old were
Yeah.
you when you
I
owned
was
an ostrich farm?
27.
Okay.
So 22 years ago.
Okay.
So what I did, I enrolled on a ostrich farming university that they had in Brazil.
Oh wow.
I gotta
Yeah.
hear about that.
And then there was such a thing. I found it, and it was actually experimental.
I guess there's no chat GPT back then. So.
Well, no,
Definitely
no.
not.
Was learning.
Ostrich schools.
Yeah,
near me.
there was internet and stuff.
Near me.
And it was
The
actually
SEO popping up.
and it was actually on the computer. It was like
Okay. Computer courses. And
yeah. I mean, no, it was live classes, but instead of going to a school, there was a guy with
Still
the
on the
camera
near me.
filming live, and then we were watching, and then but the chat, and we couldn't speak, we couldn't talk. It
you
was
could chat
everything
to
was
them.
chat.
That was
Yeah.
pretty high tech for 22 years ago.
Yeah, it was all chat, right? So, and then, I did the course and I got all the
How long
documents.
was it?
It was 1 year.
Okay.
So, but as I
Would
was
you
going
say
through,
you know more about ostriches than 99% of the population?
probably yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
probably yes. Although,
Neat little fact about me.
Awesome.
I'm an ostrich expert.
although ostrich is a bird,
Yeah.
so a lot of people know a lot about birds, and it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
You know, it's not different.
Yeah.
It's the only it's a little bit more sensitive. Ostriches are really really sensitive. It's the amount of ostriches that achieve 3 months old is rare.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
How
but
big
one-
are they when they're what size is like a baby? Because birds grow really fast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they grow fast.
I say that because we have ducks right now
Yeah,
in
yeah.
our house, and they're fully grown in like 10 weeks. So like, how long does it take for an ostrich? How big are they when they? Because it's a big egg. How big
Yeah.
is a baby ostrich?
Well, the size of the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're all
Makes
crumped
sense.
up inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're a
then-
little bit bigger than the egg because they're crumped up
Yeah.
inside, and when they stand up, they were like twice as big as the egg. So
And
they'll
then-
be like about a foot.
How fast
Yeah.
do they grow?
They grow really fast, and it's impressive. When you go once to see, and then you go next week, and like, whoa, am I in a different
Wow.
farm? Because
Really?
yeah, they grow so fast.
I
But
just- oh, go
it
ahead.
takes 1 year to get to adult.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. And they're like what, 7 feet or something?
they're
when
like tall
fully
as
grown?
humans, right? They're 6
They're
feet.
taller. Yeah,
Yeah,
taller.
yeah.
Yeah.
It really depends on the.
You're talking about like it's growing like a quarter inch a day. That's crazy.
Yeah. I looked up 2 fun ostrich facts. One, its eye is bigger than its brain.
Yeah.
Its eyes.
Same.
And then, and then it can run up to 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, it
and take
runs.
strides of 15 feet. That's terrifying.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Can they
because big
kill you?
legs and
Can they
and,
kill you? Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, the ostrich has the legs the same as a dog, right? So the dog is actually walking on the tiptoes, right? Because you know it's not like us. The dog is actually stepping with like a tiptoeing, and then this part, and that's why it looks like that. But that's because this is also the foot.
Oh.
So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's so long and weird, and then they kind of so the ostrich because they're always like when you watch some of like Ben Johnson, the guy running, right? I remember Ben Johnson was like a sprinter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Olympic
So,
sprinter. He's like,
yeah.
that reminds me of my
He-
ostrich.
when they go tiptoeing, right? And then they tiptoe the 100 meters to race and as fast as possible. So ostrich, dogs, and stuff, they're always tiptoeing. So that's why they're fast.
Have you ridden one before?
Can
no,
they be
I did
ridden?
not. I
I've
did
seen
not.
people
Yeah,
ride
you-
them online.
Yeah, you
You
can. You can.
can.
We
Not
didn't
me,
because
but, you know.
yeah, we didn't
smaller.
because it was like, hey, this is animals that are breeding,
Yeah.
right? So we were looking for the offsprings and the eggs and
It's not,
fertilized eggs.
it's
So,
not worth hurting the
yeah,
ostrich.
they stress out too quickly.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if you ride ostrich, it's gonna be like no producing for a month because it's
Oh.
scared now, and it's like
Yeah.
what happened? You know what I mean? So
Has an ostrich? Do they have like talons? Do they have like claws?
They kick you.
I think they
'Cause,
can
like,
kick you,
roosters
yeah.
do.
it's
Yeah.
it's exactly the same. They will
Has
yeah.
there ever been? Did you hear of anyone like
They are
dying
very.
by an
I mean,
ostrich?
if you when you go to get the eggs, it's very dangerous because they come and attack you, and they're fast. So
you
huge.
can't outrun it.
yeah, you have
It's a
you,
wild animal. That's crazy.
you have
animal.
to distract them,
freaky.
and you know when they're in the pen,
Shouldn't
you know.
exist.
So
How
we
do you
put them on the
distract
pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do
they-
they have like a mating dance?
They
Like,
don't
I have
see
so many
very
questions.
close though because their eyes they
Alright.
see
Oh.
far. So close anything that's shiny kind of calls their attention and then they come. So that's why they eat stones and stuff because it reflects and
Yeah.
then they eat because it's shiny. But you know that also is made that way because that's how the digestive system works with the stones. So the stones are like rubbing and then processing the food,
Yeah.
you know, for birds. So that's why birds eat stones and stuff.
The reason why I asked if they can kill you is because we had a customer with ostriches just running around, and I heard that they can, and I was always like worried about they were gonna like come and
Looking
just
behind your
kill
back.
me. Yeah,
He's like
So-
having
No.
nightmares.
Only when they're breeding, and then they're protecting the egg, you know, and then they'll be aggressive. If not, they're not aggressive at all.
Do they have any
At all.
mating dance or anything like that, like some birds do?
They do. Yeah.
Can you
Can
show us
you?
that?
No, I cannot show you because
After the show.
But
After
I've
the
seen.
show.
I've seen the flapping the wings and,
Yeah.
and stuff to, you know,
Yeah.
to what is the word like to court the
Yeah.
the female and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but yeah.
So the intention of the farm was to harvest and process the ostrich.
Yeah,
like
because
for meat and eggs.
yeah, the idea was to have eggs, and then what do you do with the eggs? The not fertilized eggs, right? So not fertile eggs, whatever, like that
The ones you can eat.
that you can eat. So you eat, and it feeds like 15 people, right?
One egg?
Yeah. It's big.
Pretty big.
So the
Just
way
one egg omelets.
so eggs become art. So you send it to an artist or something like that, and then it becomes a canva so that they can do art in it. And then so the meat, all of the leg meats, they become minced meat, some sort of like pulled meat.
Yeah.
But the chest is actually very tasty.
Does it taste like chicken? I imagine.
No.
Oh.
And it's red.
More
It's
gamey?
not. It's not
Really?
white. Yeah. It's red.
Like more
It's
gamey,
like-
like a deer meat, maybe.
No, not strong taste like a deer, but it doesn't have a strong taste and it tastes good. You season it. It's normal. It's just some meat that you can eat. Very close to. It's not even similar, but it's nothing similar to chicken or something like that. It has its own taste, but
Interesting.
it tastes actually nice.
What about the texture?
It's good. It's the same as beef. Yeah,
I gotta try it.
I know.
yeah,
Now I'm
good.
very interested.
Yeah.
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 It's. I mean, it's good. I mean,
Is it even legal in America? Like,
I
is
think
there,
so.
like-
I think
many
so.
questions.
There
Probably
are
expensive.
ostrich farms around here, I believe. So I mean, there's over here. There's good climate for that, so it wouldn't be a problem. But the thing with ostrich is like because the egg becomes art. The leather is where the profit is. Everything else kind of pays for the ostrich,
And then the leather is where
and
the
then
money
the
is.
leather is your profit.
Yep.
So because even all of the fluffy stuff, what they call, what's it
Feathers?
called? Feathers. The feathers, the Brazilian carnival consumes 80% of the feathers in the world,
Wow.
right? So you can sell all the feathers to the Brazilian carnival because
Wow.
the Brazilian party that
Yep.
they have
So-
every year.
Yep.
Always
If
wanted
you
to
know,
go.
Carnival.
about
Carnival, yeah.
the Brazilian,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get wild, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
Huge party.
yeah,
And
and
fiance
then
wanted to go, but I heard it was kind of sketchy, like not safe.
They had a thing in Austin where they celebrate it,
Yeah.
and I used to bartend for it. And oh man, crazy.
yeah.
Sounds fun.
So yeah, but yeah, so everything you can sell. I mean, any animal, everything,
Yeah.
it becomes a product.
Right.
What was the
so-
demise of the ostrich ranch?
Well,
guess.
I'll tell you what happened with us because I was learning the things, and then everything that I was learning is like on the natural habitat, a fertile egg to become an adult ostrich is only 5%. That kind of gets through, and then becomes an adult ostrich. A profitable farm would like try and pursue a 20%. We were having 86%.
Oh wow!
So,
So y'all were a profitable ostrich farm.
well, no.
Okay.
The reason was my uncle got so scared that we had the best producing ostrich farm known in history because my dad is a freaking guru scientist kind of guy. So I was telling him things, and then he was picking up the books and the information that I was getting, and then he was like, it doesn't work the same way. I'm using these as a base, but I noticed that if we do it this way, like when you are getting the eggs like to the right temperature, because you do that and you it's like an incubator or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Incubator,
Yeah, and then you do that in there, and then he was like, the way you turn the egg, if you do it this way, we get better chicks. And he was also using Yakult for the first 3 months of the ostrich. They die so easily, and but he was giving them Yakult because to help with the gut. So that's what they're drinking, right? And then not only that, the fences that my dad developed, it wouldn't be in a way that the ostrich would hit it and then roll their neck and die. So because
pissed me
they die so easily because they just get their neck.
Dumbass bird.
Yeah.
That would
Their
piss
brain
me
size, bro.
off.
Yeah. So we were having like 86%. And then so my professor, my teachers in the university was like, we gotta go and see your dad. So
So the
I don't remember
school
if they
of
went.
ostriches
Yeah.
that you went to came to your ostrich
Yeah.
farm to learn.
To see, because my dad was like, I don't remember if they went though, because my uncle got so scared that in like on the second year of the farm, he was like, I gotta sell everything because it's too much.
Sell while you're up.
We no, but the thing, no, he sold the animals, and then didn't produce anymore because he was like, we're gonna have to buy a slaughterhouse.
Oh, because y'all
You
have
know
too
what I
many
mean?
ostriches.
Yes, and he was afraid of that. He would have to invest
Oh,
another
'cause
$1 million.
technically-
Yeah.
Y'all were only expecting like 5% of the eggs. And you
Well,
had
20%,
Okay. So,
and then we're getting 86.
so you're like, okay, we'll farm 20 ostriches. But instead you had 80 ostriches because it was 4 times the rate.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell are we going to do with 80
And then he
ostriches?
got so scared that he got rid of the business, and then it just became like and then
Farmland?
a farm, like a farm, and like a for him
He was
to
so successful, he failed. That's strange.
Yeah.
Well, he
Crazy.
didn't fail. He just kind of seems like he
He's
gave
scared.
up.
He got
or he's
scared.
He got
It was a big
scared.
commitment because he's
Yeah.
like, now we have to buy a slaughterhouse.
But
and
I
what if it goes down to 5%? I guess, yeah.
But I can sell anything because I go deep into
Nice.
learning about the products, right? And then I was like, man, let's not do this. And I'll go to Italy and I'll sell all this leather to all these factories
Yeah.
that need ostrich leather. Because I don't know if you noticed, you might have, because I think I saw you with an ostrich boot.
They're mine.
Boots, yours.
Oh yeah, it's him.
So it was you? Okay.
Yeah.
But
And he's like, used to farm those.
yeah.
He's like, you farmed boots?
But when you go anywhere to buy, let's say, a wallet, a leather wallet, and then there is a normal wallet, crocodile wallet, ostrich wallet. The ostrich is more expensive,
I'm aware.
right?
Yeah, I got the boots.
My wallet's ostrich. Actually.
Sick.
Yeah.
So
have
it
a-
was the wallet that I saw.
I have
yours.
I might have shown you. Yeah, my
Yeah.
my wife's brother, my brother-in-law does all kinds of cool leather
Yeah.
everything. So.
It's
I want an
nice.
ostrich belt.
It
to
still
match the
smells
boots.
good. The quality is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm always showing people like, yeah, and you got the boots.
And there's two
Very
types
cool.
of leather in the ostrich. So you have the sheen leather, which looks like the crocodile leather, but it's a little different, of course. They're tougher, and then the more flexible leather that they used to do bags and
That's what
other
they
things,
do the
which is
boots out of.
which is the whole body because it has all the
Little
The dots.
dots,
the
right?
dots
It
is
is
where the
feathers.
the feathers.
The feather.
It
Yeah.
is so soft. That ostrich, the ostrich feels like I'm wearing socks.
Yeah.
The ostrich boot is it's so soft.
That's why it's expensive because it's leather, right? It's durable
it feels like a
Durable.
sock.
and it's comfortable.
Like these are stiff.
Yeah.
Like
Comparatively.
the ostrich. Well, I guess if you think about it, like a skin on a snake, like a snake is really
Rigid.
yeah. But like these are my ostrich. It feels like I'm wearing socks with the sole on it.
Really?
They are so soft.
But
I have
imagine
some,
how
but I
much
don't wear
money I
them
would
often.
make because the leather is where the money is. Everything else just pays for the farm.
Yeah.
And the leather is profit. Imagine we had like 400% more than any other farmer in Brazil, in the world.
Could have been profitable.
It could have been nice.
Right.
Did y'all try to convince him not to sell it?
I did. I tried.
But he was like, I own 50%.
no.
I'm like,
Hey,
what about your dad? He could sell like how he, keeps them alive. 80%.
Yeah,
80%.
my dad's
Oh,
such
the
a simple
technique.
guy.
Yeah,
but
the technique. That's
Well, you-
the most valuable part. Yeah.
Well, a lot
I
of
think
people,
so, but yeah.
You think? Well, we'll bring up. We're like huge Alex Hermosi addicts. Do you watch Alex Hermosi at all? He's an entrepreneur and puts out.
No, I don't.
But so you think about like, not a lot of
Send
people.
me a link. 'cause
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
It'll get addicting.
Oh yeah.
He's, I think, the greatest entrepreneur of our generation.
I'd say so.
Yeah, and I wouldn't, and I'm not putting them in the same bucket as like Eli or Bezos because I think those are like visionaries, like that. Those are like literally world life altering visionaries. and Alex Hormozi's just an entrepreneur. Like he's not. He's like, no, I'm just really good at
He's very
business.
formulaic. He can take just the most basic thing and extrapolate it to be
Yeah,
successful.
yeah.
I love
You just
how
make
he
a business
communicates.
make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
interesting.
It makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like in the clearest way imaginable. But like he's really good at like selling ideas. Like, you know, I have this technique of
Yep.
creating good ostrich farms, so you sell it to all the ostrich farms.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are just, you know, they don't can see that. They might be able to do it, but not be able to sell that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, grew up in the jungle of Brazil, doing, you know, chopping down trees, timber on the Motoqueiro,
Motoquero. Yeah.
to an ostrich farm.
Yeah.
So kind of from 12 to 20 or 12 to 18, you were in the warehouse.
Well, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
I moved different because we had to go to school, right? So and in Brazil, not every single city has a good school, so you have to move around to go to better schools. So, but yeah, so when I Ostrich, I was already in São Paulo working because I did computer science. So from '96 to 2000. And that I was just a partner, and then I was doing the things and just giving information to my dad. And then once the ostrich business gone, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And then I got my Italian citizenship, figured it out because we had that going for like 30 years. I was a kid, and like from 1986 when we first applied, but we never got like a letter back or something like that. And then in 2004, I contact the embassy, and then they said like, well, we don't like talking to lawyers here. We like to talk to Italians. So if you come, we'll give you your citizenship. So I got all my documents, drove over there, stand in front of the embassy, got a little ticket, and then waited outside, for 4 hours. Go in, have an interview with the person, give all the documents. They look at it like it's all good, it's all perfect. You are now Italian. Come in 40 days to pick up your passport. So, and then 40 days later, I go back, get a little ticket, wait another 4 hours, go in to get my passport. But I brought my brother with me so that he gets his citizenship applied. So I did mine and my sister together, and then my brother did it afterwards. And then I moved to UK. I worked for Jaguar Land Rover doing software development because I did computer science. It was kind of fun too, living in UK, a good
was
country.
The worst car I ever had, by the way.
Yeah, my
It was the
my wife
software.
drives a Land Rover.
It was
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Land Rovers are good. I had a Range Rover.
Range Rover.
And don't get me wrong, it was the incredible. Speaking of driving experience, it was incredible. The epitome of sport and luxury, but it had a lot of. I had a lot of
Electrical
problems.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the point, it was like,
Yeah.
man, it lived in the shop, and it's
Yeah.
not cheap to fix.
Oh
No.
yeah, I gotta ask
Over
you
here,
about that,
over
too.
here is not cheap.
We were looking at McLaren actually, not
Yeah.
to change the subject,
Very
but I heard
affordable.
they're affordable around the 250, and then but but
You
they're,
can get
but
one
they're
for
in
half
the
of that.
shop a lot.
Affordable for a supercar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
for a supercar.
Yes,
But I
yes,
heard they're in the shop a lot too because of like production line issues, like
There is
quality
one.
maintenance.
There is one thing that the Brits know how to do a lot is chassis. The best chassis engineers in the world are Brits. For some reason, they cannot dominate the electrical part.
That's why they're in the shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's kind of complex.
Lamborghini it is.
Guess the same. We were thinking the same thing. Anyway,
If
But-
I have to.
if I must.
but I worked doing the software for them, like the distribution of the cars and stuff, and it was fun because the headquarters of Jaguar Land Rover in UK is next to, because everything was the same company at the time until they sold. It was next to Aston Martin factory, right? And then they sold Aston Martin, but it is still inside the same complex. There was no gate or anything. And my office was literally 3 minutes walk. It was just like crossing the car park to the speed track the speed test track of Aston Martin and Jaguar Land Rover. And the Ford Museum is next to it also.
Sweet.
That has the Land Rover, Range Rover dirt track testing things that you
super
can
cool.
just go and drive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
sounds
it's kind of
Like you could?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Anybody could. You could go in there, like anybody could just go and like, hey, I would like to,
Off-road test and Range Rover?
yeah.
Cool.
And you want to take your car to the it's like a airstrip.
Yeah.
So like I would like to
Test it.
test my car, and it's $5, and then they would let you in, and then you pay £5,
You just rip it.
and then you go. You got to sign a waiver, of course, because it's
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
risk and stuff. But
roll
and
your
then you
car.
go. Yeah, it's kind of it's interesting. I mean, I've yeah. Now that
You're like,
you're
now that I
asking this
think about
question, like, geez, I've done a lot of things.
You have, yeah. We haven't even got to where you're at now yet.
Yeah, well, and then I went back to Brazil and to go back to family business kind of thing, and I started my own flooring distribution.
Okay.
And then what I was doing there, and then that same ostrich uncle.
You had a uncle that was an ostrich?
Yeah, the ostrich farmer uncle.
Dad jokes.
He was like, he liked what I was doing in Brazil because, look at this. I come from like a little. I've been inside flooring factories and whatnot, and lumber and plywood, decking, whatever, doors. You know, we've made everything, wardrobes, anything wood related. We've done tables, but I never really kind of went technical about it.
Yeah.
But I have a scientific mind. I always have. You know, I always had. It's like I like knowing how things are. And my brother, which is 1 year older than me, he's even worse than me. He dismantles things to reassemble it. You know what I mean?
Like reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't do that because I was like I'm gonna break it. I don't want to play with that toy. You know what I mean? But from kids, you know, I always had that really like instigation of like how things work. And
Was your dad the same way? Sounds
my
like
dad is pretty much like that. My dad created a machine, and then he provided the plans to the Germans that were creating the automatic machines for the mill that he had, and then he created a machine that when they came to see the factory, and then my dad had like an automatic machine that did, instead of cutting one plank at a time, was cutting all the planks,
Oh, okay.
which is, when you think, it's like, yeah, it's very difficult to do because it's freaking hard and dense wood, you know, the Brazilian wood. And then so he created a machine that has all the equipment and inside. So the Germans came, then look at the machines like, huh. And then my dad had like a schematic that he drove, and he handed that to a guy for the guy to make one. And then, can we see that? And then my dad just gave it, you know, never sold or anything, never patented on anything.
Oh, wow.
But my dad was like that too. I mean, my dad's still alive, but he's still like that. Everything he's gonna do, he thinks logically. You know how, you know, and I'm pretty much that same way too.
Yeah.
My brother too. Anyways, I lost the train of thoughts. What I was.
So
Oh no! I remember.
the warehouse, you were telling us how you got into the distribution
Yes,
due
and
to your background.
what I did. Look at this. This is interesting. Well, it's kind of boring, but it's interesting for me. So if you look at a piece of wood, like a flooring, it doesn't matter the width of the flooring. Everything is linear, right? So because the machines run linear to produce the wood, if I'm gonna make a tongue and groove on a flooring, which is just like making a tongue on one side, a groove on the other side, so that it connects together, it doesn't matter the width, right? So the wider it is, the more square footage you get, because you sell the floor by the square feet, right? Not linear. So, and then anyways, so but when you buy lumber, you gotta buy all sorts because the tree is round. So you get thinner planks and then wider planks. So it is what it is. And also, you don't sell the thickness of it. You mentioned it. as a selling point, but all you're selling is what the people are stepping on.
Only the square footage is
Yeah,
all you
yeah,
sell.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
I didn't think about
so
that.
every cubic meter of wood would turn into 28 square meter. So, and then I'll have to turn into feet. But turning into feet is like 290 feet. So every cubic meter, a meter is about this high and about this wide, about this long. So, as a dimensional, so every big chunk of block of wood like that has been turned into planks would turn into 280 square feet. Like would probably be like 2/3 of this room, right, of flooring, in a solid wood flooring, a solid piece like a 3/4. So I started analyzing it, and I started seeing the machines where the machines would cut, because the planks they come in the long planks they come in like 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, and goes up to 20 feet, right? Just because it is what it is, and then there is a crack in the wood, they cut it, and it's a waste. They only sell you the good wood, and then I started noticing that if I have like a long 20-foot plank, I do not get 2 7-foot and 1 6, right?
Yeah.
I don't get that. I would get 2 7-foot and 1 5.5. I was losing half a foot
Why?
because when you cut the wood, you lose about a quarter.
Oh, every cut.
Yeah, and then you don't box a piece of wood if it's not either a full feet or a half feet.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and then I started asking my suppliers of wood, of lumber, to sell me 20 plus so many inches. And then they go like, no, man, we have to redo my measurement, and stuff. Like, if you do that for me, I'll pay you 50 more, 50 currency more per cubic meter. Oh, you pay more?
because you're getting more.
Yeah, and then I go like,
Well, because technically you're getting ripped off, right?
Ye-
Because you're
I'm
paying for
not
the
getting ripped off. It's just the machines.
It's just losing it.
I'm just losing more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so what I did, I started buying differently than anybody else in the industry, in the world, to be
Yeah.
honest. The Chinese come and they buy one way, and that's the only way they buy. So I started buying different than anybody else. And then now I was turning 1 cubic meter into 38 square meters, which is 400 square feet.
Yeah.
So I went from 280 to 400 square feet with the same amount of lumber.
Sounds profitable.
It sounds much more profitable. My cost, and I did not own the factory. My cousin owns the factory, right? My cost, paying more for the lumber, right? Or paying more for the lumber, paying him, which has his profit included. My cost was cheaper than his cost
Oh wow.
because I had much less waste. I had like minimum waste.
Do you? So is your family still in the wood?
Yeah. My cousin still
So do
owns
you
the factory. Yeah.
order from your family ever, or is the cost not make sense?
No, I
shipping?
like this one factor. This cousin of mine. No, I order from another cousin, because they have a U.S. office in here,
Okay.
and then I just buy local here.
Okay.
Um,
So you have family came from Brazil, and did they open up a
distribution here.
Okay, distribution, but
Yeah.
is it
Yeah,
is
it
it from
comes
Brazil?
from Brazil. Yeah,
Cool, super cool, and they
Yeah.
distribute here.
yeah.
Okay.
And from another cousin, not from this one that I'm talking about right now. But yes, so that's and then I started having much more. So then my uncle saw what I was doing. It's like, hey, I want to do that, but I want to sell in the U.S. So I helped. I helped them to set it up, and I was buying the lumber for them, taking care of the production for them, and I was
The company that was here.
for this company, for this flooring company. Yeah, I was doing just the Brazilian side of it, just the manufacturing side of things.
And is this the company that you currently run now?
Yeah.
Cool.
So then I started helping them in 2014, and then 2015 they asked me to come and have a look at the market. So because it wasn't selling the speed that he wanted it, and then I came to the trade show, and then I said, "You're not selling because nobody has Brazilian wood on display." And then they said, "Huh." So if nobody sees it, nobody buys it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And then I said, you're never going to sell any Brazilian wood in the US because all of the Brazilian people just disappeared. You still find some that were like selling to some local distributors because some specific markets like New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, they still like Chicago also does it. They still kind of have some sort of sales in Brazilian wood, but not a lot. So they would sell like 6 containers a year, and that's fine. Nothing compared to 2004 that my family was shipping 120 containers a month to the U.S. 80 hours, 40 manufacturing like a white label
Yeah.
to our biggest
Competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just friends with the family.
Yeah.
So they were selling 80 a year, 80 containers a month, and we are selling 80 containers a month, but we are manufacturing and shipping 120 because we had 14 factories, they had 4.
So then he brought you over to do the sales.
And then, in 2015, he invited me over, and then 2016, I came, like a year and a half later, I came. Because, it took a little while because I had my company in Brazil and whatnot. So when I got here, I found out that the business partner that he has, it was stealing money from them. And then I was like, huh. And then so they sort of pushed the guy out. My uncle decided not to invest in the company anymore. All the plans that I had in 2 weeks of my arrival out of the window.
And he just dumped it on you, right?
Yeah. And then now I have no money, nothing. So he still hang on with me, but he promised me a salary. I got no salary, like nothing. You know what I mean? And then he was like paying my expense. If I went to McDonald's, I had to save the receipt to send it to him to get a reimbursement. If I went to I don't know, Mighty Fine, they're going like, why did you go to Mighty Fine when McDonald's also has sandwiches? And I would have to explain,
Yeah.
to get
Every little
reimbursed.
cent.
So you moved across the world to do sales for a company that your uncle and a friend and his business partner owned. You showed up, and like 2 days later, that guy's fired because he was stealing, and then your uncle was like,
2 weeks later. Yeah, but yeah.
Then your uncle was like,
and then
I
it's
don't
my
want to do
fault.
this
Yeah.
anymore.
And then my uncle was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then it's not my fault.
And you're like, dude, I just
So-
moved across the world for
yeah,
you.
yeah. And with a pregnant wife.
Oh.
So imagine how
I'd
it
be
takes. My
pissed.
wife doesn't talk to me anymore. You know what I mean? We're still married, but we don't see each other
Yeah.
because of all of that. And it's
Yeah.
been 10 years. So it's really tough. But I'm still grinding.
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, he goes like, I wash my hands. I don't want it anymore. It's all yours. Do whatever. And I don't care. So, and then I started doing networking.
Was it so? Okay. And how long ago was that when you got? I guess.
From 2016 to 2020,
Okay.
when COVID hit.
So When did he just hand over? Was it COVID?
Was
COVID? He's like, I'm
yeah,
out,
March 15th.
and he's like, you can have it. I
Yeah.
want nothing to do
I
with
want
it.
nothing to do with that.
And at that time, did he hand over a essentially failing company or like a?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, I
He
have
had inventory.
$0.
He had
And he's like,
inventory.
matter of fact, here's a negative 250.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
It had inventory, but $0. So
Yeah.
And man, it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's not easy at all.
Mhm.
What would you say?
Yeah.
You could either pick then or pick now, or both. What was the hardest part then, or what is the hardest part now?
It's still hard because I don't have investment money.
Mhm.
I came in, I tried for 1 year selling my company. I couldn't. And then I spent another 7 months handing my customers over to a friend of mine. And he was selling my inventory for me in Brazil that I was having to sell at a discount. Brazil was having like president impeached and whatnot.
Mhm.
So I came in no money because my money I was investing in my company in Brazil.
Yeah.
But then with the prospect and then what my uncle promised, over here. It's like, oh yeah, easy. I can move over here. I can pay, the people that I own money over there. And I know how much I can live with because I lived in UK before. So I knew that I couldn't have like a normal conventional life, like the American dream home life. And I would still have like $2,000 every month that I could send to Brazil and pay my, the people that, I had money invested in my company over there. So yeah, it's gonna be easy. And I come over here, nothing. So nobody gets paid. So they get paid now, but on a very slow progress. Do you know what I mean? But it's like nobody gets paid for a long time because there are two sides of every story. I mean, I understand his side. He got burned out by a person, not this person.
Yeah.
So the smart thing to do, but it's the same thing. It's I come with a plan, and this is the plan. We can make it very successful. And then he goes like, I know I'm burned out and whatever, right? It's the same thing with the ostrich. I come in, and I hand my dad, and of course my dad improves it, right, and makes a very successful business. And then he just goes like, no, he's afraid of success probably, but he is successful. He's rich,
Would you say so? It kind of just rephrase a big hold up on your end is probably capital, right? So with more capital, hypothetically, you get an SBA loan. I don't know how much you need. Whatever this magic number is, let's call it 500,000 for whatever magical reason is.
But that's the thing. I'm afraid of loans or anything because I got burned out. It's like, what if I don't know? Because like my strong suit is sales.
How do y'all feel on loans?
If you know what you're going to use it for directly, but we've pulled everything out of the mud so far.
I did one loan in the beginning, and it was like, it was a bet on me loan. It was also a bet on my marketer. Shout out Mark Rabb. So I couldn't afford advertising. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
So when it was just me and I was chucking a truck, like it was all profit, right? It's just me. So it was okay. Then I hired my first dude and I hired an ace. And so I forfeited my salary to pay him. So like I made no money to hope that this worked out. And I didn't have enough business to pay him, and there wasn't enough meat on the bone for both of us. And I was like, I have to do advertising to get more business so we could both eat. Didn't have the money to do that. And they're like, hey, it's also going to be 3 months before it works, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so I took out a loan to cover 6 months of like payroll. I was like, if this works out, if my advertising works out and I get this many leads, it should be able to pay for itself in a couple months. And then it's all profit after that. And it worked. So like so now my mind, I've also taken out a loan on a truck that's a work vehicle.
Yeah.
And now the only things I take loans out is like, will this make more money than what I pay in like my monthly interest? So
well, when you're starting, especially, you're either trading your time. What you usually have is time.
Yeah.
So you're trading your time for money. But if you know what you're going to use it for, and you can fast track your progress, then get a loan if you know what it's going to go for. And usually no one knows who the hell you are, so you have to trade it for marketing.
Yeah.
But you need to have a plan, and you need to have someone like Mark that can say, put this many dollars in, here's your ROI in this amount of time.
And then so we were just talking about, we talk about marketing all the time. So I had 2 different routes, and we just ran, and I knew I wasn't making any money in my Meta ads, but it was mega brand awareness. Everyone everywhere is like, I see you all the time.
Yeah.
We just did the conversion, so I pissed $15,000 away, and I converted 1 customer.
Meta's tricky like that. Yeah.
But like and
It's so annoying when that happens.
we're pulling the plug right now, and my guy felt terrible, and I was like, don't, man, like I would pay that just for the brand exposure that I had over this last 5 months. Because there's so many potential customers, and by customers I mean builders, GC, the big ones,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, I see you, see you on my feed, I see your car, and then we shake their hand. You already know me at that point, and like your conversion rate probably goes up so much higher. So even though there was no actual like ROI on that, the brand awareness that I got was 100% worth it.
Mm-hmm.
However, we had a very good year so far. And so now I was like, oh, put money here, put money here, put money here, it's going out a little faster than coming in. So I was like, let me pull the plug on. I'm working on like an AI bot, like a full-time AI team.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be ROI for that for months, maybe 6 months to a year, you know? I mean,
Or maybe a little faster though.
I hope.
Yeah.
Billy, hurry up. So like, but it would essentially could replace an office manager.
Gotcha.
And like an office manager is probably like a 50 to 60K salary. They do everything on a computer. And if you could get AI to do that forever, every day, no days off, then my ROI kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the rate of learning this AI stuff is a little. So it would be easier to teach a person, and have faster returns.
Dude, and you're like what, a year in, barely a year and a half.
Yeah, 19 months.
Yeah, 19 months. It compounds like
It's
crazy. I mean, it's so impressive because we've been in
impressive.
it 6 years. I was bucking a truck for 3 of those 6 years, and then we joined forces almost 4 years ago. And we're finding that it compounds like crazy. Like and I guess we are tooting our own horn here because we don't have any issue. We're booked out. We've been booked out, and it's because we have recurring clients, brand recognition, and we're tied to people that are essentially immune to the fluctuations of the market.
Yeah.
Right. So because we've done that and it compounded, dude, in like 4 or 5 years, you're gonna you're gonna have the ostrich problem. I got too many ostriches. I got way too many ostriches here.
Don't sell it,
know?
though.
Yeah.
You will,
Yeah.
especially if you keep going at this rate. I mean, these are our prime earning years. Let's keep kicking ass. That's why I tell everybody. I was gonna ask, are most of them W-2 or 1099?
All salary W-2.
Yeah, W-2. Okay,
On performance bonus structure as
nice. I like
well.
that.
So like,
I'm beating my head after we had that meeting at Top Golf.
yeah.
I'm beating my head, Rob. It's like,
What for?
how am I gonna do the same? I'm literally like spinning because I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna start having a team of my own.
So I'll share the conversation that we had with these guys, or part of it at least. He's having troubles with it. Install teams, and they're all subcontractors. So there's not a lot of loyalty in subcontractors. You don't really have any quality control
Yeah,
in subcontractors. And so he was asking
You
me,
have some if you use them
The
all
repeat.
the time.
you have to use
Yeah.
them all the time.
Yeah,
Pe-
but
you-
then
people
every
take care
time
of
and
you when
again,
you get
yeah,
paid a lot.
but yeah.
It's a double-edged thing because we're moving a lot of our guys to W-2 now, all of them. Because
you're busier now.
You can't misclassify them. Plus, there's no turnover really. We did recently lose somebody, but we're moving everyone to W-2, and you get people who are more invested in the company that way,
Bought into the culture.
and then you can start the culture. They want to be a part of it.
They do.
It's a magnet. You know what I mean? Our energy,
Yeah.
upward spirals, it's a magnet. So
Yeah.
we give them a piece of it too, and then we start doing profit sharing as well if they're in for a certain amount of time. We want to give them a piece of the culture, and something to look forward to. The glass ceiling, so to speak, is higher and higher.
So I love this is one of my favorite things to think about, and this is what I rack my head on all the time. I have to build a dream so big that my team's dream can fit inside of it.
That's right.
We
They-
talked about it. Yeah.
They don't. They gives me chills. I love that one. they can't be. They don't want to be an installer for the rest of their life, right? So if one of
Right.
them wants to be a manager, I got to create a company big enough where I need a full-time manager. What if someone wants their own glass shop? I got to grow big enough to open up another shop where we could partner in, and he has ownership invested. And if that happens, then you just got to keep creating space. And so,
I had a plan
Yeah.
for 750 locations with their own owners and all employees in 15 years. It has been 10 years, right? But because I lost investment money, because I had a plan, because hey, there is backing on this. Because you need flooring, it takes a long time, and it is a high ticket. It's the same as yours. Yours is very high ticket, but glass it's not as high
Not at all.
as flooring.
it's easy.
Yeah, but flooring is a very high ticket, and then so
What would it cost for a 3,000 square foot home to get Oh, wood floors.
It depends on
I
on the
imagine like
on the wood floor. So
$40,000.
if you go, it would be more.
Yeah.
I mean, we
My
think so,
parents did it like
if it's a brand new house,
Yeah.
3,000 square feet, if you multiply that by $15, which are good quality wood floors, but
So
there
like
are wood floors that's
50,000.
less. I mean, you could go
50,000.
with $11, you could do a nice wood flooring
Yeah.
installed. But let's say 15, which is like a more high end kind of
Premium,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I wonder what margins are after cost of goods sold, expenses. Is it 60?
margins like gross margins, 30 to 35%.
that's a
Okay.
volume
Net,
game,
and then it depends on the operational operational
Right,
costs.
that's what I
yeah.
was gonna say. Yeah,
But
like an installation.
it's not bad. I mean, it's not the same as roofing when you're dealing with insurance, but it's not bad. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's good, but it has a little overhead. And then the problem with not being a licensed business is that finding that loyalty with the subcontractors, and then you're paying them by the square footage because you don't want to pay a day labor. You want to pay by the square footage because you get the better ones.
Yeah.
But if you had W-2s, it would cost you a little less. They would have the benefit of like being employed all the time, not having gaps, installations, and whatnot, because you're always paying their salaries. And you can implement commissions and all that. But it's really difficult because once they learn how to install, if you train them, once they learn how to install, they're going to put an ad on Facebook Marketplace, or they're going to see people on underground or whatever. And then they go in and they get a job for like $1.50 per square foot price. Then they'll be making more money than you're paying them because they are W-2s, and then they're gonna get that amount of money. They were like, well, I can do 1,000 square feet in a day, and then it's 1,500. And so
I think so.
it's a lot of money. You know,
I think that's the life cycle, and so
they leave.
well, so and it depends. Some people are in different positions. I think we're all entrepreneurs because we saw that same math. We're like, well, I could do this for you. I could do it for me.
Essentially.
Just like that person
Yeah.
did. And I'm not going to put anyone down for trying because this
Exactly.
is hard as hell.
Yeah.
And if you want to go give it a run, good luck.
But that's
and them your competition. So
Extra good.
But that's
yeah,
but
you'll
that's
need
that's exactly what I say. It's like I better have a good person, and I pay them by the square footage so that they make more money, and then they can make that type of money working as my subcontractor than having a W-2. But
So I pay my guys really well, really well.
me
Where-
too.
Where and to the point where they're not looking for, and I also pay them really well because there is no side work. You don't because it's all my materials, it's all my tools, it's all my truck.
sure.
So if you are doing side work, you're stealing from me. But I have to pay them enough where they're not. And I also offer overtime. So like, you need a little extra coin, here's overtime. You need more money, hit your bonus program. So like there has to be something for them to look up to. If they're like, I'm going to make $600 a week, no matter what, no matter how we're.
Yeah.
So I want a team of all stars.
Yeah.
All stars want more in life.
Flooring installers make $800 a day.
On their
Because
own
you-
or like subcontractors?
Subcontractors.
Man, that's good money.
No, that's yeah.
Shit.
I'm telling you.
I might need to change jobs.
I am telling you.
Right.
I am telling you.
Yeah.
If I were to install flooring, I make more money than I make as a the store owner. I'm telling you.
Like
Why
15K
don't
a
Why
month.
don't you
We-
just start a second company of a flooring install company?
No, because if you are not installing the floor, right, yourself, because you're changing your time and your strength.
But you could hire someone full time and pay him $250 a day, and that's a reasonable
not
salary.
Not in the flooring. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. No,
This and this. I think we're
because
talking
$250 a day is a good money, right?
Yeah.
So they go on Facebook. They sell for $1.50, 1,000 square
and
feet.
then they don't show up to work for you because they'd rather make
They-
800 than 250.
No, it's 1,500, and then they hire somebody, a helper, and pay 200.